covering the profound psychological effects of losing a twin. So let's watch the video, and afterwards I'll discuss.
According to PsychVarsity.com, losing a twin can induce profound psychological effects that can drastically impact an individual's life. The unique bond between twins, often forged even before birth, makes the grieving process particularly intense and complex. This event can be likened to losing a part of oneself, with significant repercussions for mental health. The foremost psychological effect is a deep sense of loss and loneliness. Twins often share a companionship and intimacy that is unparalleled, including shared experiences, thoughts, and sometimes even feelings. The loss of such an intimate partner can create a void that is difficult to fill. The concept of twinless twins refers to twins who have lost their co-twin. Twinless twins often report experiencing a unique and intense form of grief, one that includes a profound sense of disconnection, identity confusion, and survivor guilt. Understanding this can help shape therapeutic interventions for such individuals. Grief, the natural reaction to any form of loss, is usually intense and enduring. The bereaved twin may experience all stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, with varying intensity. Complicated grief, characterized by persistent yearning, sadness, and preoccupation with the deceased twin, may also develop, sometimes leading to severe depression and anxiety disorders. Twins often identify themselves as a unit rather than individuals. Consequently, losing a twin can result in a profound identity crisis. The surviving twin may struggle with self-perception and self-definition in the absence of their twin. They may grapple with existential questions and feelings of disorientation. Survivor guilt, characterized by feelings of guilt for having survived while their twin did not, is another common psychological effect. This guilt can often exacerbate the grief and may lead to self-imposed isolation, making the bereaved feel further disconnected from their surroundings. While these psychological effects can be overwhelming, it's important to note that coping mechanisms and strategies can significantly aid in the healing process. The grief journey is unique for each individual, and professional help such as psychotherapy or grief counseling can provide much-needed support. The support of loved ones and twin loss support groups can also provide comfort and understanding to those navigating this challenging life event. Subscribe to the Psych Varsity channel, and thanks for watching.
All right, so after watching that video, I thought it was important for me to bring this topic up because based on like watching that video, like there's a sense of grief that you hold, and like kind of like a loss of identity after you lose your sibling. For myself, I was an identical twin. My brother drowned when I was 4 years old. We were 4 years old, um, and I have my earliest memories of being with him. Um, I talked about it in my intro video for my channel, but I was in foster care when I lost my brother. So I'd already been outside of the regular nuclear family and having regular family around. So my brother passed away in 1991, or 1990. Uh, and all I remember afterwards is, at least when I was in foster care with him, I had somebody with me to make those times passable. I remember playing and kind of having that unspoken bond that twins have. We would just feed off each other. We were very crazy and wild. Kind of a lot to handle for a lot of people. But I think watching this video, it kind of gives me sadness. I think for a long time that I've held on to the grief part of it. You never really get over it. Um, you see twins out and you see other twins, and now I have friends that are twins, and like you see them and you have this sadness because you remember that you had a twin as well. And there's like times in life where there's been loneliness that um, having a brother alongside would have made a lot of things a lot easier. Maybe some of the other things that happened wouldn't have happened, and maybe we'd be able to feed off each other to kind of protect one another from having bad things happen. Um, I consider myself pretty grateful to become the person I am today, though. I know I use that him being gone is kind of my motivation for going through life. You know, when I had obstacles and challenges, whether it be in high school and college and the military, my career. A lot of times I look up and I realize that I'm doing it for the both of us. Um, so, you know, I pray about it often, and um, it is really hard. Uh, and I have a tattoo on my arm to remember him, and I got that when I was 18. Um, I think I think there's no easy time to lose somebody, but I think that losing him at such a young age kind of profoundly affected me. Um, like I said, when he passed away, all I remember was, and I was fortunate enough to have to watch my brother drown too. So that's like my first major memory that I have is watching him drown and watching my foster siblings try to save him. So I remember him actually drowning. I remember us playing, and then I remember him floating in the pool. Um, then I just remember my foster sibling running to get help, and then I remember being at the hospital. I don't really remember anything else. And then I remember there was I think it was a sheriff. He came up to me and he had like this little toy. It was a little police on a motorcycle, and he kneeled down and comforted me and gave me a hug and gave me his toy. Um, then I just remember like the days after. I don't. I mean, because I was so young, I don't really remember the timelines of these feelings, but I remember like being up in my room at bedtime and just remember sitting in the darkness and having um, just no one there. And I think as I got out of foster care and I went back to my father, um, I think that profound loss affected me a lot. And so instead of having somebody to play with, I was constantly alone. And unfortunately, being alone and being young, some things happen because of not having somebody to play with, and my wanting to find somebody to play with. Some bullying and some traumas happened at a young age. Um, but I think being an adult, I'm navigating it again. I have a 5 year old son, and I just recently showed him pictures of us. And he was looking at the pictures, and he was like, "Why are there two of you?" um, I mean, it's a hard conversation to have with children, especially your own child, because I mean, I think even at that young age, I didn't go to the funeral. I think that as young children, we're not able to put into words or put into feelings the meaning of death. Um, and, I'm recently, my son is experiencing um, grief for the first time in his life when his great grandmother passed away. And he still talks about her, and he still like asks about her in heaven and if she's an angel and all that. And I'm assuming that's probably why people try to protect me when I was younger. Um, but and I wish that I would have gone. Um, Even though I was only 4, I think it would have been important for me to be able to say goodbye. Um, and that's what hurts is like as I've gotten older, I wonder how the things I've accomplished in life, going to college, graduating, being in the military, having a successful career now, and being a single father. I wonder how those things would have been different if I had had my twin with me. Um, I guarantee life would probably be a lot different. Maybe I would still get to the same place I am now, but the journey there would have been far different. Um, it makes me sad that my brother never got to meet my son, and then that my son never got to meet my brother. Um, my goal is to keep making videos about this because it's almost it's hard to talk about. Um, like when you see other twins and stuff like that, you don't want to be the Debbie Downer and bring out that you're sad. Because I think it's a hard topic to bring up to people. I mean, I feel like you don't want people to look at you differently or feel sorry for you. Because sometimes when people do that, they change their opinions of you based on their sadness for you. But as far as like, I've been unfortunate enough to lose a lot of people in my lifetime. I lost my mother when I was 21 years old. Um, all my grandparents were dead by the time I was 21. Um, but I think losing my brother was definitely the hardest, and it's still the hardest because it's like you watch yourself die, and that's the difficult part. Is even though you're different people, like from personality wise, you look the same, you sound the same. Um, and obviously, there's probably differences between you, but there was kind of like that unspoken bond between us, our ability to communicate with each other without actually speaking. Um, so yeah, I look to make more videos about this. I hope that we can spark some conversations, and I can review some other videos and kind of go more in depth of those feelings and how I feel now and how I move forward. Um, Hopefully, this can be a therapeutic way for me to kind of have peace with everything. It's a very difficult process, and um, I guess if there's anybody else that's going through this right now, um, I'll pray for you, and I pray that you're able to deal with these feelings because they're not easy. I will say the worst thing you can do in your life is to isolate yourself. You kind of have to force yourself to not be isolated. Um, you kind of have to force yourself to put yourself in situations that might make you uncomfortable, but in the long run, they're going to make your mental health much better. Um, so, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any more topics or you want to talk about your feelings, or if you were young when your sibling passed, or at what age you lost your sibling, I'd be interested to see and hear how your experiences have affected you. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Be blessed.